The state government has effected a minor cabinet reshuffle. National Union of Road Transport Workers warns its members against night driving in Zamfara State. Senate approves President Muhammad Buhari's request of external loan. On business, Bobby Grazing Reserve has agreed on 180 naira price of milk per litre. On international scene, opposition calls for traditional civilian government in Chad. On sports, many fans are agitating for Dangote to buy Arsenal. Welcome to Standard Voice News Channel. I am Samira Ibrahim. Governor Bello Muhammad Matawallan Marajan has approved the redeployment of 2 commissioners with immediate effect. Those affected are Alhaji Rabi'u Garba Gusau, who moves from Ministry of Finance to the Ministry of Commerce and Industries, while Alhaji Sufyan Bashir Yugoda moves from Ministry of Commerce and Industries to the Ministry of Finance. The governor also approved the appointment of Lawal Hussein as a permanent secretary in the civil service and the redeployment of some permanent secretaries. Those redeployed were Alhaji Abubakar Barmu Mafara from Ministry of Finance to Office of the Executive Governor, Alhaji Kabiru Muhammad Gairi from Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning to the Ministry of Finance, and Alhaji Garba Altini Dauran from Ministry of Commerce and Industries to the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. Others are Alhaji Hamisu Shayaw from Ministry of Environment and Solid Minerals to the Ministry of Commerce and Industries, and Alhaji Lawal Hussein from Administration Department Office of the Head of Service to the Ministry of Environment and Solid Minerals. All the affected commissioners and permanent secretaries are to take over their new offices from Thursday, 22nd April 2021 and submit copies of their handing over notes for records. Following simultaneous attacks by recalcitrant bandits on Gobirawa, Gora, Rini, and Madachi and Ole villages of Maradon and Bakura local government areas of the state on Tuesday, 20th April 2021, leading to the loss of lives of innocent members of the communities, the Zamfara state government is saddened by the unfortunate incident and condemned it with strongest terms. The government also condoled with the families of those who lost their lives in the sad event and is taking every necessary step to ensure that the culprits are brought to book. As part of the government's concern and care about the lives and welfare of the people, it constituted a high-powered delegation under the leadership of the Speaker, Zamfara State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Nasiru Ma'azu Magaria, to visit the affected communities to extend the state government condolences and sympathize with the families of the deceased. For more details on this story, Peter Phillips reports.
The delegation comprising the Speaker, the Secretary to the State Government, Alhaji Bala Bello Maru, Commissioners of Local Government, Information, Security and Home Affairs, Commissioner of Police and Permanent Secretary, Ministry for Local Government, expressed deep government concern and worry over the attacks. Speaking to the communities on behalf of the state government, the Speaker said the government was very much worried and is working hand in hand with the security agencies in the state to find lasting solution to the security challenges facing the state. Government also constituted another committee under the leadership of the Commissioner for Humanitarian Affairs to assess the extent of damages caused by the attacks with a view to assisting the victims as a matter of urgency. The government also directed security agencies in the state to deploy more of their men to keep vigil on the communities to ensure adequate protection of lives and property of the people within and around their respective villages. And that's the report. I am Peter Phillips reporting for SVTV News Gusau.
Government at all levels has been urged to give tuberculosis same attention as COVID-19 to stem its increasing spread among Nigerians. The Director, National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Control Program, Mrs. Ukot Itoho, stated this at a one-day sensitization program on TB eradication for some selected journalists in Zamfara and Kwara states. The program, tagged Agenda for Media Orientation on TB, was aimed at educating the journalists on how to improve their performance in reporting how to eradicate tuberculosis. Mrs. Ukot said the World Health Organization Global Report has showed that TB kills 18 Nigerians every hour, adding that 157,000 persons died of TB in 2019 alone. Mrs. Okot said, despite the alarming death rate of TB, people are not well informed about its implications. She explained that if the same energy given to COVID-19 awareness was put to TB awareness campaign, there will be drastic reduction in its spread across the country. The Zamfara State Drivers Association (NURTW), under the leadership of its state chairman, Alhaji Hamisu Kasuwar Daji, has warned drivers traveling across the country to avoid night travel. The president made the remarks while answering questions from newsmen at the association's state headquarters in Gusau, the state capital. Alhaji Hamisu Kasuwar Daji added that now that the country is in a state of security challenges, the roads have become full of death traps and ransom seekers. He said they were harassed by government in all sorts of ways. As a result, they have lost many drivers in Zamfara, pointing out that 3 people are now in the hands of the attackers in Zamfara state. Turning to the issue of drivers in the hands of the abductors, the president reaffirmed his commitment to ensure the safe return of the drivers and their passengers. The recently renovated Katsina State House of Assembly chamber has been gutted by fire. The incident is coming barely 30 days after the same scenario occurred at the Katsina Central Market, where items worth billions of naira were destroyed. According to an eyewitness, the fire was put out by the joint firefighters and security agents stationed at the State House of Assembly, noting that no life was lost. In the meantime, the Deputy Chief Whip of the House and member representing Kankia constituency, Alhaji Salisu Rimaye, has said that no one can actually say the real cause of the incident. He said the Assembly got to know about the incident when the clerk of the House instructed the sergeant at arms to go and clean up the chamber. He explained that the sergeant at arms opened chamber and discovered the incident. The Senate on Tuesday approved $1.5 billion and 995 million euros, approximately 1 trillion naira, at official exchange rate external loan requested by President Muhammadu Buhari. The approval was sequel to the consideration of the report of the Senate Committee Local and Foreign Debts presented by its chairman, Clifford Udwa, PDP Edo Central. President Muhammadu Buhari had, in May 2020, sent a letter to the Senate seeking its approval for another batch of external loans to enable the administration finance the 2020 budget deficit, critical projects, and support some states of the Federation. The federal government said the loans will be used to execute priority projects and support state governments in stimulating their economy adversely hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. On business. Stakeholders of Bobby Grazing Reserve have agreed on 180 naira price of milk per litre. This was contained in a statement issued by the Information Officer of Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries, Alhaji Abubakar Adamu Kuta, shortly after a stakeholders meeting of Bobby Grazing Reserve held in Minna, the state capital. After an extensive negotiation at the instance of the Niger State Government and Central Bank of Nigeria, the investor companies comprising Friesland Campina Wamco and Chi Company, among others, agreed to buy milk at the rate of 180 naira per litre from farmers and pastoralists in Bobby Grazing Reserve. The statement further disclosed that commercial activity of milk selection is set to commence next month, May 2021, with 100 pastoralists who will supply a minimum of 500 litres of milk from cows per day to the dairy companies in the reserve. On international scene. Opposition parties in Chad have called for a civilian-led interim government, condemning what they say is a coup d'etat following the death of President Idriss Deby on Tuesday. Following the suspension of the constitution, the military said Idriss Deby, Muhammad's son, will lead the country until elections are held. In a statement, about 30 opposition groups called on the people not to support what they call the illegal measures taken by the military junta. It has now been announced that the closed borders will be reopened and there will be some easing of the curfew. Opposition groups have warned France not to interfere in Chadian politics. Still on international scene, an investigation has been launched into the conduct of police operations in Minneapolis a day after a local police officer was found guilty of killing George Floyd. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland said he will check whether police used excessive force during the indictment of the alleged offender. It follows international outrage over the killing of unarmed black man George Floyd by police officer Derek Chauvin. The former police officer was found guilty of murder on Tuesday. The video was taken of Chauvin putting his knee on Floyd's neck for 9 minutes when he was arrested in May 2019, and hours later, Mr. Floyd was pronounced dead. The video has been circulating on social media, sparking violent protests in various parts of the United States with calls for change in police work. On sports, some Arsenal fans have called on Nigerian billionaire Aliko Dangote to finally come to their rescue by buying their team. The Gunners have suffered under the ownership of Stan Kroenke, who doesn't seem to be interested in anything other than making money. He hardly listened to the fans, and they have made his latest decision to become the founding member of the European Super League with even more distrust from the American. Arsenal fans feel they deserve a better honor and have not stopped making that known. After the recent fallout because of the Super League proposal, Sun Sports says some Arsenal fans want Dangote to buy their team now. The report calls that the Nigerian has promised to buy the club when he finishes some of the projects he is working on at the moment. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. The Forest State government has effected a minor cabinet reshuffle. National Union of Road Transport Workers warns its members against night driving in Zamfara State. Senate approved President Muhammadu Buhari's request of external loan. In business, Bobby Grazing Reserve has agreed on 180 naira price of milk per litre. On international scene, opposition calls for transitional civilian government in Chad. On sports, many fans are agitating for Dangote to buy Arsenal. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Ibrahim Gabatna, I am Samira Ibrahim. Thanks for watching and goodbye.